Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Robert Preston Jr. here with Douglas Now Live. Have a couple of stories here today I want to go over. Now, first of all, those of you who have been tuning in to us as we have been doing videos here in this format, this is not a typical day that we would be doing a video. We're trying to utilize this space on Tuesdays and Thursdays. However, we do have something coming up tomorrow I want to make sure that we remind you of. And since we're going to be streaming, I want to go ahead and cover a couple of stories. Some you may have read, one or two you may not have read. But again, we have a big announcement for the community coming up tomorrow, and I want to make sure that that we remind you of that and let you know sort of what our plans are regarding that. But first of all, Friday night, two big football games that we had here. One in Coffee County, one away. Our home game, the Coffee Trojans played the Lee County Trojans Friday night in a big Region 2 5A matchup. This is a photo here. Our photographer, Gage Lee, who has done a fantastic job for us this year, grabbed this picture. We just posted several other pictures that he got from the game as well. But this is Trayshawn Smith catching a pass near the or inside the red zone on Friday night. Unfortunately, Lee defeated Coffee 35-14. Both Lee and Coffee scored on their first possessions, and Coffee scored again in the second half. However, Lee took a 28-14 lead in the halftime, and then Lee scored again in the third quarter to take a 35-14 lead. Lee actually scored again late in the game with about 17 seconds left. They broke an 80-yard touchdown run, but it was called back on a penalty. So the loss dropped the Trojans to 3-4 on the season and 1-1 in region play. They're off this week, and then resume their schedule on October 17th in Warner Robins against Houston County. The following week, on the 24th, they will go back to Houston County to play Veterans High School, and then they will wrap up the season on Halloween night, October 31st, at Jardine Stadium with another region game against the Thomas County Central Yellow Jackets, who are one of the top teams in the state. That's going to be a big game. And the Trojans are still in the playoff hunt. It's been a rough year, not the year that we're used to based upon the success that we've had in the past, but still the Trojans are very much in the playoff hunt. Another game going on Friday night, this one in Macon, the CCA Patriots, and the Patriots, by the way, if you haven't been reading our stories or following CCA Patriot sports or keeping up with them, they are having a phenomenal year. They are very much in the playoff hunt as well. They are one of the top 10 teams in their classification. They were number 7 last week. They will move up after beating number 10 ranked Covenant Academy out of Macon on Friday night. They defeated the Rams 35-0. Number 22 there is Tyson Crosby. He scored 4 touchdowns. Number 12 is Dalton Rogers, a freshman. He scored one of CCA's touchdowns. These two players have done a phenomenal job all year long. The Patriots, of course, you can't talk about this game without talking about CCA's defense. They really confounded the Rams all night long and had several big plays. Bo Roberts, Damian Duran, Luke Russ, Beckett Waldron all had big plays, and they did so without Clay Phillips, who injured his ankle in the first half. And Clay is a really good football player, a really good baseball player. He's a phenomenal athlete all the way around. He's also just a freshman. So the team rallied around him after he went down with his injury, and they continued to keep the Rams at bay and shut them out. Now, Covenant was ranked number 10 in the classification. So these last few games that the Patriots have, they really need to at least go 2-2. So they got the first win out of the way. They're going to play Vidalia Heritage later on. They were the number 2 ranked team last week, so that's going to be a very difficult game. This week, they play on Thursday night here in Douglas at Patriot Field. So if you want to see some football, there's not going to be any on Friday night. You got CCA playing on Thursday night. And again, they're playing Crisp Academy. If they can win this game, and I believe Crisp they're not a top 10 team. They're outside of the top 10. So it looks good for the Patriots. Now, they were banged up. Again, Clay was not the only one who was hurt Friday night. So they've got a very short week in which to get healthy and get ready to play, and that's going to go a long way. If they can win Friday night, they're probably in the playoffs. 2-2 pretty much, I believe, over the last 4 games would get them into the postseason. They've already won one of those games. Of course, they've got Vidalia Heritage, which is going to be a very, very difficult game. But listen, the Patriots have had a good season, and it's been a lot of fun watching them play. So if you're a high school football fan, even though the Trojans are not playing, you will very much have an opportunity to see some high school football in town this week. I want to show you our Google Maps image here. There's something going on this week that I want to make you aware of. We posted a story about this, but it's one of those that doesn't get a lot of attention, and I want to make sure people know what's going on. This is for residents in the city, all right? If you live in the city of Douglas, this week, and I want to make sure I get the name right, it's not junk drop-off week. It is called Fall Junk Free Week. It runs from today, October 6th, until Friday at 4:30. So the operating hours, 8:30 to 4:30, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. The address is 1101 Shirley Avenue. On our Google Maps image, you can see this is Shirley Avenue. It ends right here at West College Park Drive. This is the 90-degree turn that will take you into South Georgia State College. The site of the junk drop-off event is right here. There's a little driveway here at the end of Shirley Avenue. So if you have items that you would like to get rid of, you can come straight here on Shirley Avenue and go in here, and you'll see where to unload. If you are coming through the college, you come through College Park Drive. When you get to the right-hand turn, look to your left, you'll see a little driveway, but it's right up in here, all right? Now, if you live in the city, you can dispose of household items free of charge, all right? You don't have to pay a dime. Now, tires are not allowed, neither are any hazardous chemicals, anything like that, all right? So any hazmat, not allowed. Tires, not allowed. If it's household items, household junk, things like that, stuff you would normally take to the landfill, that is allowed, all right? So this is all week long. If you are a resident of the city, you may be asking how they're going to prove that you're a resident of the city. You have to bring a copy of your utility bill, all right? So bring a copy of your utility bill or a receipt where you paid your utility bill that has your address on it. They need to verify a city address, and then you will be able to dump your junk. So again, this is all week long, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. It's free. Once again, this is the location. Don't go to the landfill. Don't go to any of the other city sites. It's right here. If you're going south on Shirley Avenue, you don't make the turn here toward the college. You go straight up in here. If you're coming through the college on College Park Drive, or if you're coming down Wheeler Avenue, you can make a left and you'll turn back up here where that 90-degree curve is, or 90-degree turn is. So right in here, right? This is where it is. So I would like to thank our Google Maps image for showing us that. But that's what's going on this week. And listen, take a look at that. There are a lot of promotions the city's doing in the month of October. There's a lot going on. So take a look at that and see if there's anything in there that might interest you. Now, one more story I want to get to, and we talked about this last week. People have been asking quite a bit, even through the weekend, what is happening with the proposed commercial poultry operation involving the construction, of course, of 60 chicken houses south of Coffee County. So there were hearings on that last week. The Judge Brooks, has not ruled on that yet. He will issue his ruling tomorrow. He's not going to hold court. It's just going to be, I believe, that he's going to file his ruling with the clerk's office, and it will be available out there. They'll let the attorneys know, and then both sides will be notified of what is going on. So we are going to follow that. We will be watching the filings tomorrow to see exactly what happens and to see how it goes. And as soon as we have some type of ruling, we will let you know. All right, we will post it, of course, on DouglasNow.com. We will cross-reference that on the DouglasNow.com Facebook page, and we will also do a video to let you know what is going to happen with that. Go either way, all right? But again, the biggest motion or the biggest ruling that everybody's worried about, everybody's paying attention to, is whether or not the court rules that the project can proceed or not. After that ruling, then we'll figure out if it's going to be appealed or what. So a lot of people are very anxiously awaiting that particular ruling. Now, I checked the filings before we got on, before we came online today to see if anything had been filed in the last couple of days. The defense's closing arguments have been filed. It's a 38-page document. We've downloaded that. I have all intents to post that later so you can read. You can read those. You can read what the defense says. We're going to go back through and take a look at the rulings and see if there's anything else from court that we need to post. But we will get that up here before too terribly long. So pay attention to that. You'll be able to see that on the DouglasNow.com Facebook page. And then, of course, there will be a link to take you to the website where you can read all 38 pages if you are so inclined. But that's what we're waiting on. And I do not know what time. It could be 8 o'clock in the morning. It could be 10 o'clock in the morning. Or it could be 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Don't know how it's going to go. It just depends. It just depends on when that ruling gets filed. But we are awaiting it just as you are. And as soon as we have that, we will let you know. So again, tomorrow should be a big day. We've posted a couple stories on DouglasNow.com. We will post a few more throughout the day as well. There's several stories that we are following closely. So once again, no news on what is going to happen regarding the 60 Chicken House project there right off of 441 on the south end of town. A lot of people ask questions, Facebook stuff. We got a lot of things or a lot of different questions on a lot of different platforms that we've gotten through the weekend. So, but we don't have an answer yet. As soon as we do, we will let you know. So I want to thank everyone for watching today. Looking outside. The weather is not really. Let's take. I want to try something here. Let's do something. I think I have a camera here in this studio that I can take a look outside. I think if I hit this button, we have a camera on our radio station tower, and we can get a look at the weather. This is the first time I've ever tried it. Let's see what happens. We're going to our tower cam. Look at that. There we go. That is from the tower out here on the Buck Studio, looking back east toward the city. All right, so that's looking back east on Walker Street, back toward Karen Lane and Chester Avenue and back that way. Of course, you can't see a whole lot, but you do see the clouds moving in. The weather's supposed to get bad this afternoon. Of course, it's a lot better than what we were dealing with this time last year. I actually thought about that. I have thought about that all weekend long, where we were, because we still didn't have power at our house after Hurricane Helene. Even though the weather wasn't necessarily bad, conditions were still pretty rotten. So yeah, it's a lot better than what we were dealing with. But it's not raining yet. It's been drizzling a little bit off and on, but the weather is supposed to deteriorate later on today, I do believe. So how about that? We have the capabilities to check the weather. That's pretty neat, isn't it? All right, just one of a few things we're working on here in our new studio up here at in the Coffee County Broadcasters complex on West Walker Street. Again, I want to thank everybody for watching. Y'all stay safe, stay dry. We will let you know as soon as we have word tomorrow. We will be back here in this space. We'll give you some notice on Facebook so you can tune in. Thank you again. Y'all have a wonderful Monday. We'll see you next time.